Okay, today is October 16th, 2008, and this is my diary in regards to the read aloud. Today we went into the schools and we were doing a read aloud with the children, and I had first graders, and I was really excited about this because I initially wanted to teach younger kids such as first grade or even as young as kindergarten. After today I became a little distraught about it because it was actually a lot harder than I thought. I decided when I devised my lesson plan that we were going to have a discussion. I was going to read the book and then we were going to follow through with the discussion because we only had a half an hour. Unfortunately, I either wasn't prepared well enough or I just didn't have enough involvement in my discussion because I found myself to have a lot of time left over in the end. I followed my lesson plan pretty much to a T. At first, I was given 5 kids who were 4 boys and 1 girl, and they were all really eager to sit down and get to know me. So I sat down and told them how I was a student at Penn State, and we all introduced ourselves. And afterwards, I introduced the book I was going to read to them, which was a picture book called Wild About Books by Judy Sierra. This was a book based on the zoo and how a librarian came into the zoo and basically got all the animals interested in reading and writing. So I thought this would be a good way to incorporate talking about how the kids felt about reading and writing also by the end. In the beginning, I discussed the zoo and tried to direct it to the kids personally by seeing who's been to one before and who hasn't. It was good because they all have been to one before, so they all knew what their favorite part of the zoo was, what their favorite animal was, so it really got them engaged. Afterwards, I told them I was going to read the book, and I held it up, making sure they could see it, making sure that they all sat down so they could see every picture. And they actually sat attentively and watched and listened as I read the entire book. One girl even pointed out that there was a rhyme scheme throughout the book as I was reading it, which I was really impressed by. Afterwards, the group discussion went really well at first. I continued to follow my lesson plan, and again we talked about our favorite animals and what they were most impressed by in the book. I also had them pick out little secrets and clues hidden in the book about animals and their interests. I then carried on by asking them what they liked better, reading or writing, and books they like to read and what they like to write about. Unfortunately, I realized that after talking about this, I still had 15 minutes left, and the kids were getting a little bit antsy, wondering what other groups were doing. They saw other kids with pens and papers and crayons, and they wanted to do that. So I had a little bit of trouble keeping them focused, and I got a little bit distraught about it. I actually had one boy that would sit down and he wanted all of the attention and he'd block the other boys out. So I had a problem incorporating all the children at once. So I think a major deal that I have to focus on is classroom management. I struggled with getting kids quieter that were loud and quiet kids to participate. 2 boys sat in the back very quiet, and I would actually have to tell a young boy and a young girl to sit a lot because they were blocking them out, almost sitting on my lap, trying to grab at the pages, grab at the books, and I didn't really know how to deal with this. The teacher actually had the one boy sit down and he listened to her, but I guess because I was a guest they didn't listen to me, but this sort of made me very uneasy and kind of nervous about the remaining time I had. I think that if I was to incorporate an activity, I would have had more fun with them. I'm more of a hands-on person. If I would have brought art into it, I think it would have been better also because a lot of the other kids in the other group seemed engaged. I did receive positive feedback at the end. The kids all said that they enjoyed the book and they liked me and they were happy that I came and read to them. It's just, it was a lot harder than I expected. It doesn't distract me from wanting to be a teacher or anything like that. I just think that I need to either be more prepared or still need a lot more time on working with classroom management. But overall, it was an enjoyable experience. I did enjoy reading to the kids. I did enjoy having them ask me a lot of questions. We even were able to talk about reading and writing in their classrooms. If they did reading at home, writing at home, some of them did, some of them didn't. It was just harder when one kid would get out of line or start talking to me and I didn't know how to focus the attention directly away from him and into everyone else as a group. Because I know you can't focus on one student directly when you have 4 that are in front of you, all seeking the same attention. They get distracted then and they want to do their own thing also, and then it's just chaos from there. So it was an enjoyable experience. I just think I need a lot more practice.